Shots on the wall, coffee gone cold, finger on the trigger, heart runs bold. Tick tock tick, red turns green. Is this that flip or the start of a scene? Every candle feels like a question. Every heartbeat bets on direction. I'm caught in the curve of the line, right on the edge of the sign. Oh, turn or trend, they both been riding that swing to the very last, stand up and down again, again. Are we in a storm or a perfect friend? Turn or trend, they both been. I can feel it in the air like wind blow right through. Break then blend, I just wanna dance it out. Turn or trend, screen glow bright, midnight dance. One more move, one more chance. Stop lost tight, but my hope runs wide. Do I bail right now or let this ride? Every signal talks like it knows me. Every move could crown me or ghost me. I'm tracing the arc in my mind, chasing the shape I can't find. Hey, turn or trend, they both been riding that swing till the very last, stand up and down again, again. Are we in a storm or a perfect friend? Turn or trend, they both been. I can feel it in the air like wind blow right through. Break then blend, I just wanna dance it out. Turn or trend, spin that doubt, round and round. Hear that hush in the crowd. Is it just a twist or the start of a run? I'm lost in the gust, but it feels like fun. Oh yeah. Turn or trend, they both been riding that swing till the very last, stand up and down again, again. Are we in a storm or a perfect friend? Turn or trend, they both been. I can feel it in the air like wind blow right through. Break then blend, I just wanna dance it out. Turn or trend. Oh. Shots on the wall, coffee gone cold.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How we doing? Thursday morning, New York Open, NQ. We're ready to rock and roll. We are going to change things up a little bit today. We're going to dedicate the whole day to trading wealth charts, our good friends at Wealth Charts, which also has my dots indicator on it. And a lot of people I know in the room trade wealth charts. So I'm going to show you the really great trick of the trade that I'm going to be doing pretty much all the way through with all my eval accounts and even all my funded accounts going forward. We're going to trade two accounts side by side using my dot scalping strategy. One is only going to be buy signals. One is going to be sell signals. There's a couple of reasons to do this. The most important is that occasionally we actually find ourselves, especially during the European session, where we sometimes have a buy signal and a sell signal within the same cycle. More importantly, a lot of times we find ourselves where we are in a buy signal, but then the signal turns into a sell signal. We're not able to take one of those, and very often the one we're not able to take is actually the profitable one, right? So this assures that every real signal that appears on the chart will be taken, which magnifies our possibility of success. Obviously, since we have positive expectancy, creates better positive expectancy, and also segregates. Suppose we're just straight up long only a day today, which is rare, but or short only day today. Then obviously the long side is just going to just clip, and maybe the short side will suffer a little bit. But that way you kind of segregate the bad trades into a different account. So this is a kind of an interesting synthesis of a lot of stuff that I learned from my friend Claude. I did 3.5 hour deep dive into the best tactical analysis of what we do against the prop trading rules that we're given. And I'm going to reveal all of this to you guys in my coaching tonight. So I actually have it actually made a beautiful little one-page document to me of how we should be thinking about trading, both from funding point of view and then both from getting paid out point of view. Some really, really interesting takeaways from the whole thing. It's amazing when you put AI to the problem, it suddenly becomes crystal clear of what you should be doing. And very often we're not doing that because we don't quite understand the rules, or we don't quite understand the implications of the rules. So I'm going to explain all of that to you today. If you guys are interested in coaching is tonight. Here's the link. And guys, this is going to be the last week that you're going to have this horrible landing page. I'm actually amazed people are buying the coaching services off this horrible landing page. I've had the beautiful landing page that's going to explain all the services of coaching just made. So next week I'll show it to everybody who's new in the room, and you guys can really see the value. But great, don't worry about the fluff. Just coming in here. Thank you, DRD. Your check's in the mail. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, come on in tonight, 7 o'clock. We're gonna really deconstruct using the best brain in the world, which is Claude AI at this point, in terms of what we should be doing, what tactics are the best, and also it'll make you understand, sort of you're thinking of joining for coaching. Come on in. Today is gonna be the day, because I'm gonna light a fire under a lot of people's asses today off of the stuff that I discovered. And I'll give you the full. I'll give everybody the PDF of the full analysis. So it's really actually very good, because it's kind of like a reference sheet. But back to just grinding out money. So we're trading. The good thing about wealth charts that I absolutely love is we don't have to constrain ourselves to just one fucking tab, because much as I love TradingView and Tradivate, they don't allow you more than one login at a time, which is just an unbelievable pain in the ass, because I have to switch accounts, switch tabs, switch everything. So here with wealth charts, I have one account, which is the 24 account. Just started this morning. Both of them I just started this morning. One account, we're going to go long. One account, we're going to go short. Let's make 24 the long only account, and 21 the short only account. And the beautiful thing is, we see the setup, we hit it. We see the setup, we hit it. We're going to be able to just go back and forth between the tabs. Everything is preset. It's all wealth charts. It's really kind of the trader's platform. So that'll be good. Tomorrow we're going to trade live CPIs, 8 o'clock in the morning. Be there or be square. Come early. A lot of people kind of slept through the non-farms on Friday, and we hit our, we hit our funding target in one trade. And then, then I went all green on all my accounts using the super dot scalp method. I'm trying to come up with a good name for this particular setup, and I probably will, but that's definitely not going to be it. But the setup, as I showed to you, is very simple. It's literally could not be easier to understand and execute in real time. The only thing you need is just simply to be watching the charts. We have long-term 200 SMA. We have the 8-period SMA. So long-term over short-term. Short-term has these red and green waves. When it's green, it's positive slope. When it's red, it's negative slope, right? We're looking for the following construct. It's a 1-2 punch combination. Doesn't have the 2 punches, there's no combination. The first part of the combination on the long side is a white dot. White dot is an early indicator of turn, an early indicator of buying interest, right? The second punch, the killer punch, the one that we take as a trade, is we need a green dot over a green slope. Like right now, that's not a trade. If the next candle right now closes with a green dot and the slope turns green, we're going to go long. That's the long setup. The short setup is the exact reverse. We have a purple dot as the early warning signal of a short signal, and we get short over here. Boom, 5 against 15. It's a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio with a 5 out of 6 win expectancy. So we have a positive win expectancy. If you guys want to refine it, I'm happy to refine the risk reward ratios and everything else with you guys down the road. Right now, it's just a pure clean money machine on these parameters. We can always optimize them and make them better. So I'm not against it. I traded last night a variant of this thing in a much larger pip position in gold, where we traded the actual big turn, which I'm going to try. I'll try to do that again with you today if we have it. And that is the same construct, but against the session highs or session lows. And that turns from like a 1-to-3 to a 3-1 trade, where you're risking 10, you're making 50, even 60 points. Like yesterday, I had to leave everybody in Asia session, but the trade that we were holding, which was like a 10-point risk, hit a 60-point target, and actually could have hit a 100-point target had I held it longer. But it hit my target as usual after the show ended. But it was a perfect example of kind of a longer term trade. And for those of you guys who are not trading feuds but are trading CFDs, where the spreads are going to be much more against you, obviously the longer term trades are a real consideration and a real good idea. But we're just going to scalp away this morning. What's that? Do you get everything? Well, you get the tools. Oh, hold on a second. We got to go by. We have a signal. So we're in here. By the way, probably shouldn't be doing this because we're like 10, 15 minutes to the open, but this is going to be the last trade that I do. So as you can see, here's my little glass. We have a green dot. We have a green slope against the white slope. It's a 1-2 combo. Let's see if this one prints, or whether this one is going to be the 1 out of 6 failures that we get sometimes, which is okay too. So yeah, when you get the coaching, you get everything. You get the tools, you get the coaching, you get support, whatever you want. You get up to 5 free accounts, because I'm going to give you an instant refund, which you can then use to go buy Apex accounts. And right now, Apex accounts are 80% off. Let me put the Apex link over here. Our friends at Apex are always the best. Literally the best prop firm in the biz as far as cost goes. So you could literally take my instant refund, use it for Apex accounts, and now you got free accounts. So here's what I mean about trades going both ways, right? You see this? We have a purple dot against a red dot developing right over here. 27 seconds left. I'm actually going to switch over to this one because we're going to call this our short setup. And if the slope stays red, I'm going to go short this trade, even though I'm holding long the other side. If it doesn't, it's fine. But if we get the signal, see, I'm just waiting 8-9 seconds. Slope is red. If it's going to stay this way, we'll see. I'm going to let it complete. What? I'm going to go. I'm going to take it. It was officially red on the close. It kind of just turned green. I like it to go redder. The fact that it went red green is problematic, but we'll give it a shot. So because it's quiet, usually during North America, you're going to get lots of volatility. You're never going to be on both sides of the market, but you want to have this flexibility of having a long account and a short account, because the setup sometimes will go both ways. And, and I want to give it a fair chance to play it out. Tony, yes and no. So it's interesting you say that because I actually had Claude and analyzed all that stuff. The key thing that's different about the strategy and why it's working so well is it's both stricter and looser in a lot of ways. It's stricter in the sense that what is the dominant variable here is the slope, right? The slope is the key variable that drives the trade, and that's what I think creates like 90% of the success. But the other thing is that it allows you intermittent skipping. You're not looking for 1-2 punches. You can do 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 punch. In other words, the dots don't have to be consecutive. There could be 10 candles in between the two signals before you actually take the trade. And I think that's kind of cool. So the short side works. I did hold on to the short side. The long side probably gets stopped out, which is fine. Now we stay flat until market opens, and then we'll just we'll just trade it out. These are two evals that we're trying to gun towards the 5,300 level. Depending on frequency and accuracy of trade, we have a reasonable chance here to just gun this within 2 or 3 days towards target. And I'm trading, as you notice on the evals, I'm trading larger sizes. I'm trading one NASDAQ, so it's $100 trade against a $300 stop. Because I have relatively large drawdown of 2,500, the $300 stop is absorbable given what I'm doing. Yep, the short resolve for me too, as we can see. The cool thing is that on Wealth Chart's platform, we can really see all this stuff resolve very quickly. Good evening, Ricky Ray from Thailand. What time is it in Thailand? Is it 10 or is it 9? Are we 12 up or 13 up against New York? It's 1:15 in the morning in Sydney, that's for sure. And it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon in London. Good morning, Green Otter. Nice to see everybody. 9:15, so you're 12 up from us. You're 12 up from us. That's actually a good time. I mean, it's like a really comfortable time to trade in Southeast Asia. You come home from work, you have a beer, you trade the first hour or two of NASDAQ, you're done. I mean, I calculated this sort of, I had a lot of algos run to try to, calculate the frequency. And this is we're basically generating one trade every 15 minutes, even across the quiet hours. So there's like 4 trade possibility in an hour here. And if you're trading like, let's say 8 to 10, this 8 possible, scalp trades going out here. Hey, Chrono, also trading out of Thailand. Wow. My friend, Etienne Crété, who's Quebecois, he lives in Thailand like half a year. He really has a great time there. I mean, I don't blame you. Why would you want to be? Today is actually the first day, or maybe yesterday was today was the first day in the whole year, 2026 in New York, that we went up above zero. We went above freezing. We're at 34 degrees, and it felt like summertime. I mean, it's just been the deep freeze over here. And you can't imagine how disgusting New York is when it has all this snow frozen and just dirty. And I don't even want to get into the details of what's on top of the snow, but it's just a disgusting, disgusting picture. Ricky Reyes, he's from Texas, but he's lived in Thailand for 37 years. My God. Wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Ben says TMI, exactly. Well, welcome to New York, my friend. Let me see. Do we have any news? Oh, I think we have. What do we have? Jobless. Let's just see what we got on the Cal. Let's see, Forex Factory. What do we got today? UK GDP really sucked balls, huh? Today, unemployment claims not super. home sales, that's housing. That's going to be a relatively interesting, but that's about it. Nothing much. Yeah, very, very quiet day as far as that goes. What about Twitter? Oh, what is this? That it's willing to blackmail and kill in order to avoid being shut down. Well, that's good to know. It really is a matter of time before AI kills us all. But, before that happens, I'm going to take full advantage of it. This is really sad, by the way. I don't know if you guys know James Vanderbeek. I never really watched what is it called, Van Dam Rules or whatever it's called, his show. But he was a big heartthrob, and he unfortunately passed away at the age of 47. He put out like a video just before he passed away. It was really, really moving, worth watching. It's sort of rumination on life. It was really a good video. Good guy. Dawson's Creek, right? Dawson's Creek, right? Why? What is the logic for this? This is bullshit. Let's see what this is saying. AI tool is not an attorney. It has no law license, owes no duty, loyalty, and its terms of service explicitly disclaim any attorney. Can't fix it after the fact either. Sending unprivileged documents to your lawyer doesn't retroactively make them privileged. That's been settled law. It just hasn't been tested with AI. And here's what's really hurt the defendant. The AI provider's privacy policy in effect when use expressly permits disclosure. Oh, but that really sucks. Well, that's really, really bullshit. That should really be privileged information. That is just absolute fucking bullshit. I mean, you know what this is? Honestly, like this just boils my blood over. You know what this is? This is protection of the legal guild, because AI is better than 99.9% of all lawyers out there, and gives much better advice than most legal tacticians. And the very fact that you can now subpoena and take those records against your privilege means that you're just forcing somebody to get stupid human advice. That is fucking bullshit. That is lawyers protecting lawyers. It is zero value in the justice system. That's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm really, really glad you guys really like the MT5 tool. Anyways, sorry. What did I've been ranting and raving. We're waiting for the 9:30 open, so no trades until then. That's why I just got myself on there. Yeah, but it's not just even like you want to protect jobs. It's literally the worst type of protectionism there is. It's like protecting the guild, right? I know people hate the fact that that AI is much better than they are at work, but that's just fact of life. If you need to compete or kind of die out. And if legal skills are essentially going to be useless going forward because AI has the best repository of legal knowledge than any lawyer in the world, then why would you not give that value to everyone in the world? Because you want to protect the $500,000 terrible salaries of most lawyers who don't do shit? I'm sorry, that's bullshit in every sense of the word. All right, I'm done. I'm done yelling. Well, the problem is, so somebody says, why protect the people who take advantage of us? Is they're the ones that make the rules. The problem is that the judges interpret the law and therefore protect the lawyers, which is really, really bullshit. Am I looking at the charts? Yeah, the charts are quiet. There's nothing going on. That's why I'm ranting and raving about the injustices of the world. Oh, Harvard is dead. You can wipe your ass with a Harvard degree going forward, unless you are in STEM, unless you are actually doing something valuable in life, like science and technology. But literally every humanities degree that Harvard produces going forward is the most, Charmin toilet paper is going to be more useful than that degree. And I say this as an Ivy League graduate. My wife is just gung-ho on making sure that our child goes to Ivy League. And I'm like, it's going to be a complete waste of time and money, in my opinion, 10 years from now. Not to mention the fact that, I think all the Ivy Leagues should be disbanded, period, because they're glorified hedge funds masquerading as public institutions. But anyways, no more riffing. That's very funny. That's not, I absolutely am open to any possibility. When you can process information at 1,000,000 times faster than a human brain and probably 1,000,000,000 times faster than a human brain, the possibilities of the evil that you could do are just relentless, So yeah. But as I said, until it really turns evil, I'm going to use all of its power for my sis. Yes, I mean, Ivy League is literally. I've never seen a brand destroy itself more. Maybe except for the Budweiser Light. I think those are the only two things that destroyed themselves faster than the Ivy League brand and the Budweiser Light. By the way, apparently, I don't think has ever come back from its market loss after that fiasco they did. And I don't think Ivy League is going to either. Yeah. All right. What do we got? We got 3 minutes to the open. Super quiet. Look at the market just kind of really flatlined. Nothing much going on over here. I kind of think we might get a little quiet. Monday we have. Monday the market is open. I think is the market open on Monday? George Washington's holiday. Next week is the New York City Public School spring holiday, so everybody's going to be gone except me. My wife is gone with my child. Kathy's going to be gone, but she'll be around, and I'll be the only one at the desk. But let's see, Washington. Let's see, NYSE holidays. Let's see if next Monday is a holiday. Yeah. Oh, next Monday there's no trading. So the 16th we're not trading, guys. So we'll do the Monday show on Tuesday. Wow, I forgot that George Washington's like an actual real holiday. Okay, I have a scalp to the short side, but it's like 2 minutes before the open. So it's really, I'm not going to do it. Tempting as it is. Because what do we have? We have a classic scalp. We have the red slope, red dot, actually purple dot against this red dot over here. That's starting, but we're not going to do this because it's just too close. President's Day, yes. CPI tomorrow. Oh yeah, Lincoln's is 22nd, Washington 16th is a compromise called President's Day. Yeah, you're right. Right. Okay, 1 minute to go to the big show. Oh, who was it talking? Was it Judith yesterday? No, I think it was. Oh my God, it was Lee. We're not going to do this, but we're going to virtually do this. We're talking about the idea. You know how when we do news, we'd like to do a straddle. We like to get long one account, short the other account, and bet on the volatility. The volatility meaning that there'll be a directional move, a uniform directional move, one way or the other, that's going to fund the account in a single trade. We did this yesterday with non-farm payrolls. That was pretty easy. But we also realized that this volatility burst actually happens 9:31 New York, after the first minute of the market open, when you have this massive imbalance and it either extends or rebalances. And when that happens, you get this big volatility burst. So we're gonna try and play this game, see if we get this this big move right now. 9:31. So the first big candle after the open, the market imbalance, and then I'm going to try and virtually straddle it. I'm not going to trade it with you guys because I don't need any more funded accounts. But you guys can, if you guys are doing it, it's not a bad idea. Just make sure you're not doing it on wealth charts because wealth charts won't allow you to do that trade. The hack that we actually discovered, I think, that we thought about was you can do one long on Tradingview, one short on wealth charts, or the other way around. And that should really work pretty well because you have two separate platforms. You're going to be able to do the straddle at that point. All right, 9:30. Let's see if we open up big or this is just going to be bullshit trading. All right, we're opening up a whopping 10-point drop. Really not a big candle. Candle reversing. This is not the trade yet. We've got to wait carefully until the trade completes. First of all, the candle is like now tracing out about 40, 50 points. We only need 35 points on a 4-contract size if you're doing a $50,000 account to get funded, right? So the idea is 31 seconds. We're gonna absolutely wait here to see. The candle so far now is 55 points large from here to here. I'm actually, because I can see it on here. 10, 11 seconds left. This is, I doubt this is going to be a volatility straddle, but we'll see. So, okay, we're going to go long 51s and 51 short. And that means, it's starting, it really is dropping. So what we need to see is the trade. Oh, look at that. If you go 51, it's got to drop to like around 20. Got to drop to about 15, right? Not 30. Yeah, about 15. It's going to drop down to 15 on the short side, or if you're going 51, it's going to come up to 85 on the long side. But what it's doing is it's probably going to stop out both sides at this point, because if it races down, races up, the trailing drawdown pretty much takes you out because it constantly cuts your stop parameters. Although right now, if you survived the short side, if you survived the long side, you survived the stop on the long side. Although I'm not sure you did. Did you? You went 50 to 26. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Now you just burnt out. It's just pure churn. So yeah, straddle works except when you have this kind of a situation where it's just up and down washout. As I said, straddle strategy depends on uniform movement one way or the other. In this case, we just washed itself out. It's a really good example of understanding that no matter what you try and do, there's always a risk and there's always a downside to your strategy. You need to know what that is so that you're fully informed. So yeah, this, regardless of how you traded this, you would have gotten blown out of both sides of the equation. And that's not surprising because it's a slow day. There isn't any big directional movement, and you're not going to be able to kind of capitalize on that straddle idea. Yeah, it was Lee. I think Lee, honestly, those type of ideas are really good when there's some kind of pent up demand, right? When there's a little bit of news flow, even if there isn't, because as you can see, the imbalances just kind of swished up and down and basically, blew you out on both sides of the equation, right? We actually now, as we're looking, may have the long side setting up. We'll this is our long count, right? And we will see if we can get the long side. This is my long count. This is my short account. Yes. Okay. So for the long count, we have the white dot, and we're looking for green slope, green dot. And that's not happening just yet. Market is really flopping around, doing not much. But you're absolutely right. When you're saying both orders are going to get triggered by vol, you need to watch out for that. Absolutely. And that's why I ran it virtually with you to kind of show you, this doesn't always work. And this is the reason why. Yeah, it's consolidation, building up the ranges for CPI tomorrow. Absolutely. 8 o'clock tomorrow, guys. Be there, be square early on, because 8:30 is going to be the release. I think there'll be some price action. If CPI is muted, I really can't see how we don't rally hard. But anything can happen. All right, purple dot. We are probing. Also, are we getting into session lows? The other thing we absolutely love is trading session highs, session lows. Where are we? Here's the session lows right over here. So we can actually, what we'll do? It's really easy to watch this on Tradingview, and then we'll just execute on wealth charts. We'll just switch around because it's just much easier for me to kind of narrate these things on Tradingview. You can see them. All right, session itself is kind of very tight. The session high, session lows is 1575, about 60 points wide. We don't have much going on over here. So just to kind of show you, if you're on the CFD front, what I mean about the big turn trade. The big turn trade is when you hit the session highs and you get the purple red reversal, right? And then you trade it not against a fixed stop. You trade against the session highs. And if you're looking over here, you came in at 400, right? Stop is around 420. You have 20 points worth of risk, and it actually goes all the way down to 100 points. It's basically a 1-to-5 type of a ratio. Now, not always, but it's just a high risk reward ratio, and it's like one trade. The key thing about that particular trade, the big turn trade, is you absolutely have to be in the mindset of I'm going to get stopped out. I'm going to try again. I'm going to stop out. I'm going to try again. The turn rarely takes hold on the first try. So you have to be in that mindset of lose one, make, lose one, lose one, lose one, make 5. That's the structure of the high reward, low risk, high risk, high reward strategy, right? Low risk, high reward strategy. It's going to be infrequent. That's what I mean. Yes. There's always trade-offs in the market, and you need to understand what those trade-offs are and just try to run the edges as best as you can. But trading the turn at the edge is always a really good thing. Here's the London turn over here. You see, we're hitting lows, hitting lows, hitting lows. White dot, no green dots, white dot, green dot over here. You're in at 36. Your stop is 18. Let's say your stop is 15. You 15-point stop, and you have a run, just literally a clean run of about 3 to 4 times your risk. So it is a very lucrative trade with this particular indicator, which is what hopefully you guys can all use if you want to trade the big swing instead of just the small scalp, like I do. That's the beauty. You can really apply it in 100 different ways. Everybody vibing me on this? You guys understand what I'm saying? Give me a +1 or a +2 or a +3. Now just tell me you understand the turn. I'm actually curious. Let's do a little, we've got nothing going on here. Let's do a little polling here. Okay. I prefer, we're going to do a very specific question. Scalp dot trade. Oh, Jesus Christ, if I could only type. Versus, we'll call this swing dot trade. Yeah, the long term, we'll call this a swing dot trade. Let's see what you guys prefer. I'm actually curious what the room is gonna like. Just putting this up right now. Vote in the poll. Let me know. Let's see what we're gonna do. Oh, we're getting a setup. 29 seconds left. A setup to the long side, but alas, the dot goes away. Jesus, what a yank job today. I got to tell you, I think I have not seen such absolute choppiness. I mean, like 30, 40 points in a second choppiness in a long time in NASDAQ. That's really a lot of indecision going on over here. You know, where the buyer sellers can't even move directionally within a candle. That's a good question. We're going to ask that question tomorrow too, because I'm really, really curious. It's really like very much, you know, two very distinct approaches to the market. And they're both, I think, very valid. But I got to tell you, I'm really glad I'm trading evals today, because this is just bullshit. This price action is really horrible. A lot of consolidation is an understatement. It's literally just chop city, and very bad. Like, you know, it's just completely untradeable, which is good. That I'm glad we're not trading it. You prefer winning trades over losing trades, Tony? That's a good choice. Me too. That's why we trade the dots. All right, now we're starting to set up a little bit. 44 seconds, maybe challenging session highs, which is good. Want to see if we can bust through session highs. I already forgot which was my long one. I think this is my long one, right? So we're going to trade this one on the long side. Actually, we can stay here. We got how much time we got left? 30 seconds on the clock. The dot's got to stay. The dot has got to stay. If the dot disappears, we don't trade. And I'm probably going to hold until the candle completes, because this looks like it can be one of those total fake out moves. 13, 14 seconds. I'm not going to pull the trigger until the new candle forms, because this is one of those candles that could have the dot disappear at the very last second. 1, 2. Okay, it looks like it did work. All right, we're long here. Let's see if we can pull the 5 out of our ass. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. There's the trade, and the long scalp works. Nice. All right, back to reality. Back to watching session highs, session lows. But at least that worked out. So he's like, and so, you know, Tony, you were asking me, like, you know, why I like this setup is, like, in all seriousness, I mean, I know you're just busting my balls, but like, in all seriousness, the reason why I really like the setup is because you see all this bullshit that we went through, the 10 minutes of bullshit. It caught the one tiny moment of truth. And that's what I like about it. Not that it always does it, but it does it a lot more than not. And that's the whole point. I mean, if I am essentially on a 5-6 basis, meaning I win 5 out of 6, I have a, you know, inveterate edge on this thing. So, although God knows it was for a tiny little move here. Jesus, this thing, look at this, just pop and drop, right? Not even anything cool. Yeah, very choppy here. Oh yeah, it's definitely a good idea to just not trade. I mean, you know, we're just hanging out, and I'm only trying to pick the absolute, you know, possible trades. And remember, I've segregated my trades into buy side and sell side, so that even if we get clipped, one of the sides is going to work well, right? So I'm just trying to diversify as much as possible away from this bullshit chop as we can. But if you're asking me, like, today is a good day to trade your evals. It's probably not a good day to trade your funded accounts, right? We talked about the idea that if we trade evals as demos and funded as real money, that's how you want to, you know, segregate and integrate. All right, so we do have a short coming up here, legit short, purple, red. They may want to run the lows, unless this is just another fake out, and that puts me to my short side on this one, to this short account. But it's got to hold. It's not even holding. I wonder, like, if the we haven't looked at the volume footprint. I wonder how. It feels like there's very little volume going on through here too. 12 seconds left on this trade. This setup, it is setting up. So we will sell it if it holds. 3, 2, 1, sell. All right, we'll sell it if it holds and see if it hits us on the downside. And we're done. Good. So another scalp to the into the books, and we have session lows now trying to get tested and breaking. So they finally break the session lows. They're probably going to hold or consolidate around the 3,100. And if we do, like, if we kind of just consolidate, I'm going to try at least to show you the long-term trade, the big trade. It may not, I would be shocked if it develops in the next 10, 15 minutes, but it could be the first turn, which you may get stopped out on. There could be a second turn around, let's say 10:15, 10:20, and then around 10:35, 10:40, if this is a genuinely kind of a tapped out move, we'll be able to get a pretty decent turn to the upside for 50, 60 points. So I'm happy to show this to you as a technique. It's definitely going to be there. Footprint hammer foot at 941. I meant to, Pete, thanks for sending me that over, by the way. I email me a note. I just want to have a question for you regarding just the cosmetics of it, about, as far as the how it's displaying. But otherwise, very cool. So sellers, try to push through the lows. We do have a setup which I just did not do right now because I'm yapping. Session lows get broken on a red dot trade. That would have been a short for us. It's just that I was yapping, so I didn't take it, and now it's already too late. It has broken the session lows, so it's fine. We're gonna let the trades play themselves out and see how they go. But let me see what's going on over here. Okay, cool. And then we'll see what happens next. Yeah, it's making fresh session lows. It took out the 300s. Is it going to consolidate around the 250s? We'll see. If you're a pure momentum trader, you could just, one of the things that we see all the time, right? Literally almost every single day is something like this. And I'm going to highlight this for you guys who want to trade this. If you like doing this. So we do see very often this kind of a continuity trade, right? And a continuity trade like this is where we have 2 or 3 dot candles, like candles that are just boom, I'm hitting a low, I'm hitting a low, I'm hitting a low, or hitting a high, hitting a high, hitting a high, that hold. And if you're like a good momentum trader and you like, I'm going to break the lows, I'm going to break the lows, I'm going to hit them, you can absolutely scalp this for here, here, here. Even here, the scalp would have worked to the downside. I'm that person that after the second hit through the lows or through the highs, I stand back. But if you find yourself in a strong move, you can get 5, 6, 7 hits through the bottom, through the top. It can really punch through in a very, very clean descending move like this. So depending on your personality, you can absolutely take advantage of the dots trading it this way. Just not my, I have a hard time selling lows for more than once or twice. But there are people who will sell lows for 6 times in a row, and they'll kill it when you have a continuity trade. This is the classic continuity trade. The dots really helps you if you are that type of trader. You got to know what your personality is. All right, forming a little bit of a bottom here, although not quite. I still think we're probably going to break through the 250s. Sometimes I feel like, what I should do? When actors get into character and they just pretend to be somebody they're not. So maybe what I should do, I'm kind of thinking about this, is I should pretend I'm a momentum trader. We'll take one eval account. We'll call it my momentum trader. I'll get into character as a momentum trader, and then I'll just simply hit every one of those trades with you guys so that you can actually see the setup in action. I'll pretend I'll be something I'm not, because this was a nice clean drive through the bottom. Which, by the way, look at this. As I said to you, they're going to test the 50s, and they did. And there's like let me show you something else that's really, really cool while we're at it, since we don't have a setup. This is really, really cool. Okay, hang on. So you guys will really appreciate it. This is truly for the contrarian amongst you. But let me go over here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the footprint chart that our friend Sam had. This is the setup that my friend Sam from Ola showed us the other day, right? And actually, when we're looking at the footprint, let me just mark this against. We were here. This was, which candle was this? This was the 48 candle, right? The 48 candle, which is 46, 47. This is it, 48. This is the 48 candle, right? What you see on the 48 candle that's really, really interesting is that it was a move down, but it had positive delta. Like there's a little bit divergence. Now we have huge negative delta on this one, right? But we're not able to make a lot of further move to the downside. Like if you're just looking at the footprint right now and you're trying to make kind of an intelligent buy assessment, look at this. We're like 2,000 deltas and we're just making zero downward movement. This tells me that I'd be a buyer right now. Like if I just wanted to spec this, let's say I'm a buyer at 250, stop would be like underneath here around the 30s. If it blows through. But I kind of think that the fact that they can't drive it down on such a huge negative delta, and they go right back, right? And this is if I bought the 50s, you're up like 10, 15 points right then and there. Like this is a really, really cool, fun way to incorporate volume information into what we're doing. Like when we're looking from our perspective, we still don't have any dots. We don't have anything else because we're purely price driven. But there's a lot of early read through on volume that you could use for very quick scalps, right? Green Outer says it's a great idea that I should just go method and become a momentum trader, or I honestly, to be honest with you, I'm much. You can see it's so much easier for me to be the turn trader, right? This is like I'm a fish to water. You show me divergences on turn, and I'm ready to buy the lows and sell the highs on any given day. It's very, very hard for me to sell the lows continuously or buy the highs continuously. But yeah, just Accurate just took a quick long on this. But you see how you could really, really use the volume data to interpret what's going on over here from us, and it's very, very. I think it's very complementary to what we do, and very often can be really useful. The other thing that you got to understand is that this is very controlled in terms of risk, right? You know precisely where you're wrong because this point, let's say 30, if you take out the 30s, there is no bounce, right? It may be the next candle or the candle after that, but there's no bounce. So you have a very, very clean, defined risk. You therefore can assume a pretty decent amount of leverage against that risk. Because if you took, like, just for argument's sake, you took, I don't know, I said we wanted to go long 50s, right? And we went long 50s. Stop was 30. So that's, if you just were doing even one NQ, that's $400 worth of risk. But then, you bought the 50s and it went all the way out to 80s, right? So even if you just did a 1-to-1, or you went, you made like $400 on just this one quick 1 minute trade in a 1-to-1 move, right? Yeah, momentum trading is like a sumo wrestler resting until the big move. You're right, and that's like honestly. So Green Outer, as you can tell, I am clearly not the person that likes to rest, right? I like to be hyper all the time. That's why I like the quick punch in. I am not the sumo wrestler. I am the the Krav Maga fighter. Just hit the guy in the throat and run away. So we got a white dot. We got a turn, and actually a turn on a positive slope, which means the market is kind of finding a bottom. Like I told you, the 250 was going to be sort of the initial first level of support. And what's really cool is, I'm really glad Sam kind of showed this to us, is we're always talking about levels. We're always talking about where the levels are. And the volume, of course, is what leads your analysis. So when we're looking at as I told you, when we're buying the 50s over here, that led your analysis, right? You saw that because price wasn't moving, you had a really decent chance of a turn trade here. Now we're just basically starting to turn. Deltas are finally starting to get positive. After a big sell-off, if you get this positive move to deltas, that's actually a pretty good sign. You see they're stacking all the buyers up. So when we go back to our charts, it's not the worst place in the world to try to get long. It's early for us. We don't even have the white dot against us. But the thing about using the footprint is you get a lot of you can sort of get front run a lot of these ideas. But it also means you could be wrong a lot, because if you're buying here and this is not the bottom right now, you're obviously going to just eat it. But it's a very controlled risk. You're only like 30, 40 points. Imagine if you were just trading a couple of micros. If this is a turn, it could be good for 50, 60 points to the upside. If you're trading CFDs, this is the kind of trades I like to look at. They take a lot longer to resolve. They tend to be a little bit more meandering, but the payoffs are usually so much better, which is what's really cool. You like the longer scalp for you? Yeah, that's great. That's great. I mean, I think that could work. Right now, we got nothing on the dots. Nothing is really showing up as a trade for us, so we're just waiting. The footprint is also very quiet, so it's just net neutral, right? Starting to get a little bit more negative. I wonder if we could. What's this? What's the session low? 233. I wonder if could I do this? Really? That's the session low? That can't be right. Yeah. Yeah, 235 is a session low. All right, it's moving towards a session low. 241. So is this a double bottom? That's the big thing. So let's watch this from a footprint point of view. So we have the 35. That's the session low. We know that's right there. Delta's coming in over here. Again, really not making a huge amount of leeway price-wise. A lot of volume, right? A lot of negative volume, but kind of all getting absorbed. So they're hitting the bids, but there's somebody on the other side of the bid that's absorbing most of this and not moving away. So the price is not falling away. So are we close to a double bottom? Let's see. Break the lows. Obviously, the shorts are gunning for the 200 level because they want the stops over here. They want to take out all the stops over here, and they might get it because I think there's enough. It's close enough, and there may be enough volume to get here. But if they don't, if they're sort of stymied over here, we pop right back. There's a lot of deltas, like 7,000 negative deltas over here. But not a lot of movement. That's interesting. Let's see if they would. I would buy it here. I would just buy it here if I'm looking at the volume just for shits and giggles. They couldn't take the 200. We'll see. $200 holds. Deltas go positive. And now we're back to 29. So what did I say? I wanted to buy it around the 15. If I'm buying 15, I probably want to give it up around 35, 40 if this holds. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And actually, the cool thing when we were trading CFDs last night was that you could actually scalp against your long position. You could be both long and short in CFDs, which is a really cool thing. Really, really useful. All right, deltas are still negative, but much smaller. So this is one of those situations where, as I'm reading this, it looks to me like they want to run the 200s. They're going to just drop it through here. And then the moment they capture all these stops, they're going to try and reverse it. From our perspective, we have absolutely no signals just yet because it's all just negative. It's all negative. We're just hitting session lows, hitting session lows right here, right? On a continuity basis. But I'm actually curious to see something here. Yeah, no trades. But it feels to me like it's setting up for some sort of a pop to the upside. Do we take these session lows? If you're a momentum trader, yes. But as I said, I'm not. All right, Delta's turning mildly positive here. Still nothing. They're breaking the 180s. If I have a hard time selling fresh session lows all the time. Like we should have probably sold those session lows because I was just too preoccupied with the footprint. But now, no, I don't think we should. I wouldn't press it right now myself. I think that there's a much better chance that we do a quick reversal here. Although, look at this. We've had the other thing I've noticed, by the way, is when you get like up to 5 negative deltas in a row, it's actually a really, really good chance of a reversal. Kathy used to have this rule in FX where 7 in a row unidirectionally statistically was one of like 90% chance of a turn. It was very, very rare. I think this was all on daily data, but it's all sort of the same concept that you can only go, it seems like right here, right there. That's where I would have been. I would have been long. Like after 5, 6, you kind of want to just start buying it right here. And now we're popping, and we're probably going to go to like 240. Like I said, if you bought the reversal around the 85.90 on the bottom here, you're already like 30 points in the money. And I think this candle will extend to like to 40 over the next 2 candles. So buying this bottom really, really worked out nice if you were doing the turn. See, it's already up to 30. Look at this. Look at it. They're just rebuilding. You could just tell. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negatives. And around here, you really had a huge probability of reversal. Footprint is very cool as a tool. Very, very cool as a tool. White dot, we don't have a signal because obviously, this is a chase trade for us. We need the slope to turn green. But, we're going to be a little bit more patient to let this thing out. But you could see, like, from the footprint and how, like, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at this 5th level over here. If you were a buyer, you really didn't have much risk here. And once it turned to, from 85, how high did it go? 50, right? I said it was going to go to 40. It went up to 50, right? So that's literally where you had like a 1-to-5 risk reward ratio. I told you guys when I was at Miami and I was watching everybody trade that the truth of the matter is everybody teaches you trend, but they all trade turn. Like every big hitter that I saw trade live was basically marketing trend or marketing turn as a trend trade. They were, what they were doing is they were buying the absolute pivot. And then after the pivot, what happens? You have like 3, 4 candles in a row going up. That's a trend trade in a turn format, right? So everybody says, "Oh, I'm trading trend." No, you're just trading turn. You're trading turn. That's what you're doing, and that's a key distinction. Because what I think is people always get is like, "Oh, I should be selling trend." Like somebody was asking me, "Should I be selling these trend over here?" No, you're very late, and even though this looks like a good trend, this is exactly why the markets screw you. You know. All right. We're just letting the slope catch up. Once the slope catches up, we might have a trade here. Scalp to swing ratio is 65-35. Not bad. That's actually pretty good in the room. But it makes sense given how we're trading. Oh, I didn't even look at the news, guys. What was the news? I guess clearly not a lot of impact. How did the existing print? Oh, negative. Jesus. Yeah. Wow. So this is a tough setup, right? Because the reason why it's a tough setup is because we have to take it. It's our setup. But if it formulates, it kind of just creates a double bottom structure here. We have a purple dot. We have a red slope. You know, everything's kind of sold off after the knee-jerk rally. And if we start getting a red dot here, we got to take it into the bottom. Fortunately, there's enough room here that we can take it into the bottom and it still won't violate the double bottom. But, you know, trying to sell the bottom of the second bottom, always a problematic thing because it could just bounce very, very quickly, make a higher low, and then we're basically off to the other side. No move anyways. No dot for us anyways. And slope is starting to turn positive. So maybe this was the higher low. There we go. Green dot, green slope. This is a turn trade for us, which means that we can set up our long side. This is my long count. No, this is my long count. Wait, where's my long count? Oh, here's my long count. Sorry, it's my long count. All right, we can watch it on well charts here. See what it wants to do. Candle definitely holds. We're just going to simply wait 3, 2, 1. We're in the trade, and we're in. We're in and out. See that? Nice, clean. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, guys. No, this totally worked. I'm just annoyed at myself because I didn't have this on NQ. I had it on MNQ. That sucks. All right, it doesn't matter. The great thing about my setup is there's like 1,000 of them a day. So, you know, I'll catch the next one. But this was a nice, clean setup. It was just boom, boom. I hope you guys hit it. Who took that trade? Give me a +1 if you guys took that trade. Anybody? All right, now, and I like watching this on Tradingview because it's just a little bit cleaner and cleaner as far as the graphics go. Cody Pabar. Glad did. All right. I love it. I love it. Cheryl did. I just want to know you guys, you know, are clipping it. I know you guys are quiet because you're trading, but it just makes me, I need a little reinforcement. Goat. Hello. Nice to have you with us. All these new people. See, it's when I ask you that you guys pop up and say hello to me. Okay, we actually got a serious Sell setup now here. Session lows. Yes, it's a double bottom, but they're breaking it. Red candle, purple, all same structure. Let's go to the short side. If this thing holds, oops, this is my short account. Where am I? And sell. Maybe I've been a little bit late. I was just late. I wasn't paying attention to. That trade would have been done had I just bad execution. My fault. Fuck. I was late on this trade. All right. It is what it is. I eat this. It was a great trade if I just simply had hit the target. This is the other thing. You got to time it really well. Sometimes, you snooze, you lose. We had a very, very short bounce and and I ate the trade. All right. We'll come back to it. The next one. That's the beauty. We get one every 10 minutes. The next one will come in, give us a signal. Every trade I made today worked. The trade that didn't, it wasn't because I had the setup failed. It was because my execution failed. And that happens a lot. So you kind of have to prepare yourself for it. You know what I need to do? I need to push this over here. It's just didn't work. Yes, going to Asia session lows. Yeah. Yeah, most accurate, just clip the short. Yeah, that's the whole point. You guys, my job is to show you the entry, and you guys' job is to ignore my rantings and to, execute to spec. I'm always trading a lot better when I'm off screen because I'm actually focused on what I'm doing, right? So, but my apologies again for just being late. All right, double bottom in place here, right? White dots coming up, telling us that there's a reversal. This is actually, I really like this trade, not just as a scalp trade, but this would be like if I was in my swing Boris mode, my swing Boris character. We're gonna create this new character called Swing Boris. Somehow it sounds it doesn't quite sound the way I want it to come out. I'm sure my wife is not going to approve of that of that nickname, but let's assume it's an innocent name called Swing Boris Trader. This setup, like over here, assuming we're holding, if I get a green dot here, I want to be a buyer. Or if I want to be a super early, if I just want to take the plunge that the bottoms are in, I'm in here with a very, very low risk. And I'm perfectly okay, if I get stopped out, because I think in 2 or 3 tries, this is going to be a big turn on the move here. So right now, looks like they're testing the lows. Yeah, my alter ego, Swing Boris. That's my new alter ego, Swing Boris. So again, as I said to you, I'm here for the turn. If you guys are in for the turn, you're in around 80, 90. The stop should be about 65, right? And if we're in here, this thing, I think it goes to 240, 250 on a swing trading, swing trading basis. Jesus Christ, I really need just different names for this stuff. I feel like I'm in a 1970s porno movie. But you get the idea. Because this type of structure repeats itself all the time in the market. And for people who are just hunting for that one big trade for the day, this is a pretty good trade. All right, I'm looking now for the for the long trade here. If I get a green dot, and if it comes in, it comes in. $30 seconds left on the clock. 25. Trying to consolidate a little bit here. Got to pop through the 17 level. No. Be a little more patient here. Slope's still red, still not really turning. We need more power to the upside here. But if you're in on the swing trade around, let's say 205 or let's say 195, you're into 195, stop is 165. You're targeting 250, and I think you're going to get it. Okay, I still don't have my. If you look at my thing, my slope is still red. I still don't have the signal. I'm gonna have to be a little more patient on the moves. All right, slope finally turns green. So this is the next candle. Those of you guys who are trading the swing turn off the session lows, you are like 10 points away from the target here. Yes, Sophia, I was talking about it like 5 candles back. Like this is, if you're coming in for a turn reversal, you have a much bigger risk now. We were looking to turn it here at around 95s, right? So the idea was to buy 95s and probably give it up around 245, 250. But if you're coming in to buy here for like a big swing, you now have to assume like a 50-point stop, and you have to assume that we're going to run back up to the 400. So those are 2 big assumptions. This was a much better trade over here than here, just simply in terms of entry tactics. But you get the idea. Okay, I gotta go. Shit, I gotta go. Bye. Fuck. The problem is I'm switching from these things, and I am not paying attention. Oh, fuck me. Let's hope I'm not late on this trade. Again, it was just a late execution. Come on, baby. Come on, hit that thing. No, it's going down. I'm gonna get tagged out on this trade. Nope. There we go. I got lucky. We got lucky that we did sweep up. Need more screens? No, I have the screens. I have like 7 screens. It's just that when I'm broadcasting, I'm watching the screens with you guys and showing you what I'm watching. So I have to switch around. It's fine. We got hit the product, and by the way, if you're on the anybody take that long swing with me? Like who was it? Who was saying? Who was the one that says that he likes the long swing? Was it who was it in the room? It wasn't an astrologer. It was the Goat. You did a good job. Green Otter was talking about the long swing. Green Otter, did you take that swing from the 90s, from like around the 95 to 250s like I was talking about? Neil took it. All right, nice job. Good job. Wasn't that nice? Like, is that really paid money, right? Neil, would you come in? Lee took it too. Good for you guys. And you guys got paid, right? You took it out, right? I'm hoping you got, because that was pretty much the limit of where you could go. Like now you're sort of hoping that this is indeed the bottom. Now, if you're going to be a long-term trader, you could weather this, sell off and then try to go for another 100 points. But yes. Oh, good job. Accurate went 87 to 236. Lee did that. I was taking when I told you on the MNQ, but in paper. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Remember, prop is paper, my friend. Eval is paper. It's just, it has a goal at the end of it. That's why prop is so good. As I said, when you think about prop, your eval is your demo. Your funded is your real money. You start thinking about it in those terms. You will do really, really well. right? All right, so good job. We took out the longs on this. Still got 10, 15 minutes. Let's see if there's any more trades. Lee says she made 700 on the prop account. So you're going to stop now and go to bed. Yes, it is one. It's actually 219 in Sydney. Where are you in Oz, Lee? You're not in Sydney? Is Melbourne 1 hour before? Good night. Enjoy yourself, by the way. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Oh, you're in like rural Queensland. Okay. Wow. Do you have kangaroos all around you? I'm kidding. I like Australia the way I like America. The 20 block radius of downtown Sydney or Melbourne, because I see these pictures of I even see what's his name? Who's the guy that plays the Hammer? Oh my God, the Australian actor, the really, really well built one. Thor, the guy who plays Thor. There's these videos of him showing what they have in their house, and they have fucking snakes crawling in their houses and all sorts of wildlife. This would definitely not be me. I like, concrete civilization and pretty much walking distance. Yeah. Good job, Lee. Get some rest. Enjoy yourself. We have a more setup. We got the white dot setting up. Maybe we get another long, right? Because now we got a white dot against the green slope, so it's really setting up. See, she has 3 stakes this time. This is the kind of shit I would not be cool with. I would definitely not be cool with. So Australia, for me, pretty much my whole experience in Australia is George Street in Sydney to the waterfront in Melbourne. That's it. That's where I'm good at. All right, we're holding, kind of holding, but halted moves. But this pattern, I got to tell you, this is where the dots really, 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 really help you in making just a nice casual, one hit it and quit it trade, because we're constantly monitoring the session lows. We're constantly monitoring the buying and selling pressure, and we see this reversal pattern happen over and over. I think 8 out of 10 days you will get this reversal pattern. Dislocation, consolidation, a little bit of reversal, and it's so easy to trade this once you see it on the charts, because it's incredibly clean and clear, definitive. You're just simply looking for that timing element, and the dots really help you with the timing element, right? Am I wrong or am I right? Tell me I'm wrong or tell me I'm right. I think they definitely help you. All right, I only have one favor to ask everybody. If you are new or if you made money, just subscribe to the channel and hit a like, because that's going to help us propagate and catch up on the views. Yeah. So everybody. Oh, big move, guys. Big move. Yes, coaching. I always email the link on coaching the day off. So that's going to go out in about an hour. Okay. And then it goes out once, and then it goes out an hour before the coaching session. So you will have it, because I have to create a new webinar every week. So don't worry. Definitely if you're on the list, you're going to get it. And if you haven't gotten it, just email me. You get it sent. And by the way, and if you miss it, it's always recorded, and you can watch it on demand. It's actually much easier and better to watch it on demand, because if you're in a crazy time frame, it's difficult to come in. As with health clubs, about 10% of all the coaching students actually come into the coaching session, but a lot of people watch it on demand, right? So human nature does not change, regardless of the activity. You know how in a health club, 90% of memberships, nobody ever lifts a weight. It's the same thing. You like the easy scalp? Oh, I like that. I like that. I like the name for that. Easy scalp. Ooh, easy too. Very, very cheesy 1970s marketing. I love it. Thank you, Green Otter. Easy scalp, easy rider, easy rolls. Like, if you're a boomer, you know what I'm talking about. Brisbane is cool. Like, I actually I landed in Brisbane because I had to go. It was like a crazy travel schedule, but like I was like, I would come back here to hang out. It looks like a cool city. I would definitely come visit Brisbane. All right, I'm still sitting here patiently waiting for where the setups are. We're still holding the lows, guys, right? But flows have obviously slowed a little bit. I have a feeling we're pretty much going to be this structure for the rest of the day until we get tomorrow. We get that infusion of news, and then we're going to start reacting to that. The other thing I got to say, I don't know if it's you guys. I certainly feel like over the last week, just generally, we got to set up here. We have a white dot, green dot to the long side. This is our long count, so we're good. So we can actually watch it. If this holds, we're going to go long here. I feel like global volatility has calmed down. Maybe Trump has just calmed down. He hasn't really been that. I feel like all volatility evolves from the president, and he's been really quiet last couple of weeks. So like all price action has really calmed down too. All right, we're going to go long here. I got to flatten. Sorry, not a trade. So this is what happens if you're wrong. Very, very important. You see how the dot disappeared in the last second? Don't think. Just get out. There was no dot. I should have waited last second. This is where the setup will fail you. So I just got out of it. That's fine. I'll wait for the next one. If it's a true dot, it's going to hold. If it's not, we will reconfigure ourselves. That was just me talking and not paying attention. Yeah, calm before the storm, says Tony. Yeah. Nico says he's a member of the fitness club since 1/1. Nothing has changed since. It's true. It's true. All right, finally, maybe a genuine green dot. Let's see if this holds. And maybe not. We're really entering into the one step forward, two steps backward territory right now. We're going to wait for this one last easy scalp setup, and then we're going to let it go. Now I'm really going to hold until the candle closes because I'm not going to get fooled into a false dot structure. No trade. No trade. Still watching. Trying to see if there's anything on the footprint. Yeah, I think everybody is waiting to see what's going to happen with Iran. It's really interesting. You're absolutely right. I think that is the calm before the storm. And maybe, Tony, is that what you were referring to? In a sense, that's the calm before the storm. We're getting the dot finally. 6-7 seconds left. This looks like it's going to be a genuine hold. 3, 2, 1, boom, long. All right, show me. Show me the move. Yeah, you're right. So I might as well enjoy the calmness right now. Oh, it's really, really choppy. Looks like it's just going to be a chop day, and it doesn't work. That's our last trade of the day. It genuinely legit trade just didn't work. This is actually the first legit trade that just didn't work because the market is super, super choppy. Very little continuity here. All right, we'll let it go. We come back tomorrow. We really get geared up for the CPI. The cool thing today that I really like that I showed you guys was the turn trade, the big turn trade. A lot of people make money on that, and we'll focus on that. And I may actually, take an account and we'll genuinely trade the big turn trade for everybody to see, because that is a very, very clean, nice, repeatable variation of this pattern. All right, my friends, everybody have a great day. I will see everybody tomorrow, 8 o'clock sharp. Okay, everybody have a wonderful night. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. And I'll see everybody for coaching tonight, of course. Take care.